What are the 5 best weapons for opening Gambit? Now, some people may say it's Splattershot Nova, some people may say it's T-Tech. To be honest, I'd argue that while Nova is in the top of that list, there are still 4 other weapons in the game that are still very good for the ability. But hey, it's Pokaie. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 5 weapons that I believe work amazingly well with opening Gambit. Now for starters, we obviously have the Splattershot Nova. When opening Gambit was making its rounds in popularity a few weeks ago, Splattershot Nova was the go-to weapon that everyone flocked to. That was like, yes, this is the weapon that opening Gambit runs absolutely perfect on. And honestly it does, since it is a very assist heavy weapon and can get kills and assists very easily through its kit. It's very good for that. However, there are other weapons that may excel a little bit more than the Nova itself. The first one being the Tri-Slosher Nouveau. Now the reason I say the Tri-Slosher Nouveau is a very good opening Gambit weapon is because the weapon is a 2-shot kill weapon. If you manage to get like 2 directs with it, it's 2 shots to kill, combined with Fizzy, which is really good for securing kills and chasing people down or creating pathways. It's very good. And not to mention Cooler, which actually overlaps a lot with opening Gambit, I believe, with abilities. So that way, let's say if you don't have Gambit activated after like the first 30 seconds of the match, well then you have Cooler to fall back on as like a sort of Bosch version of Gambit. Either way, Cooler is there as a way to like provide Gambit without actually having Gambit on. You get my point? Anyways, moving on. We have the NZAP 85. Now the reason I say this weapon is actually pretty good is because one, the NZAP, very good weapon for getting kills and assists. Suction Bomb kind of helps with that aspect. As long as you know how to play around with Suction Bomb, I think it actually works really well. And Cooler, like I said, with Tri-Slosher Nouveau, if you don't have Gambit, you can fall back on Cooler as sort of like a little bonus. Now do keep in mind, by the way, that Cooler does not stack alongside Gambit. I'm pretty sure what happens is that one overpowers the other, or you just get the abilities of Cooler and just Gambit's kind of there in the background being activated still. But both weapons though, Tri-Slosher Nouveau and NZAP, are absolutely amazing for that. However, for the 5th and final weapon, I want to go ahead and say that the custom Splattershot Junior actually is very great for Gambit as well. Reason being, Wave Breaker, great for getting kills and assists. You know, it's very good for like chip damage and, you know, kind of applying pressure. Torpedo does the same damn thing. It's very good for applying pressure, getting kills or assists. And just the Junior itself, you can either play very passively and get your Gambit through that, or you can go balls deep and be aggressive and absolutely terrify the enemy team with a Combat Junior. Just overall, these 5 weapons, was it 4 or 5 weapons? Might have been 4 weapons. I think I miscounted actually. These weapons are absolutely amazing when it comes to using Gambit. Now I'm actually pretty sure I only mentioned 4 weapons, and the reason I only mentioned 4 weapons is because there's actually 2 other ones that I believe actually work well. However, I'm not entirely positive in the ability of these weapons to work well. First weapon of which being the Squiffer. Squiffer itself is a very good weapon for getting kills and assists with opening Gambit. Kills, more so yes, since it is a charger. However, point sensor will help you get assists along with it. Big Bubblers honestly helps you sustain longer. Well, the reason I say Squiffer runs well with the ability is mainly because of point sensor. You know, Squiffer is already a very aggressive charger. It's very fast, it's very quick, and while it lacks the range of other weapons like the ZF charger and E-Leader, it makes up for it in just being absolutely aggressive, and that aggressiveness is why I think opening Gambit could run well. However, the downside of that is that you also need to run Inksaver's sub. That way you can throw point sensor as much as possible, and maybe a bit of swim speed as well alongside opening Gambit. Like, admittedly, the only reason I'm a bit offish on this weapon is because one, you need to be very aggressive as a charger player, and that means you have to be very confident with your aim, and 2, you need some minor chunks alongside the weapon. Now the reason I went ahead and said that the previous 4 weapons were very great was because they don't really require any other abilities with Gambit to do well. You know, like you can kind of just put Gambit on the weapon, you can have like no chunks in all your gear, and you do great. For Squiffer though, it's obviously different since you do need Inksaver sub and swim speed just to get that extra boost, you know. But for the final weapon though on this list that's kind of like a bit iffy, it's the Paintbrush. Now the reason I say Paintbrush, even though a lot of people may flame me for this, is because the weapon is a very easy weapon to use. It's very easy to get kills, like what, 2 to 3 shot weapon, 4 from afar I believe. Wave Breaker helps in with getting chip damage, Curling Bomb helps with mobility, and just overall pretty great stuff. However, just like Squiffer, this weapon needs a bit of chunk adjustment to it It's not just a simply, you know, plug and play. With Paintbrush, you're definitely gonna need Ink Saver main, Ink Saver sub, Ninja Squid, swim speed. You're gonna need a lot of chunks to make up for Paintbrush's lack of like mobility and ink conservation and stuff like that. You're gonna need those extra chunks just in case Gambit doesn't work. But yeah, no, I mean, just overall, Paintbrush and Squiffer, two weapons that do work. They just need a bit of tweaking. And honestly, I think Squiffer might be the go-to option as opposed to Paintbrush if you really want to run a Gambit with a charger or like, let's say, a brush, because at least with Squiffer, it's more reliable. You know, like you're not gonna run in and die immediately with a Squiffer. There's a bit of chance to it, you know, like there's a bit of chance that you can actually get 1 or 2 kills before you die. You know, with Paintbrush, if you get caught out of position, well, that's kind of it for you, and you lose about maybe a few seconds off a Gambit. But yeah, no, that is all I have for today's video. Just a quick little video though, honestly. I know this wasn't exactly 5 weapons that run well with Gambit. It was kind of like 6. I mean, pretty much was kind of just 4 with 2 honorable mentions. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. To be honest, the only reason I made this video was because I've seen the hype and like just talk around opening Gambit really just fizzle out over like the last few weeks. Ever since like last season, when like all the hype around it kind of went in and died out, Gambit has not been talked about at all, and honestly that kind of sucks because I feel like the ability is actually pretty good. Well, it's not really as great as, let's say, a last ditch effort. It still has some potential to it in the game, I believe. So I just want to quickly give out like a few words saying like, hey, you know, Gambit is good. If you don't know what weapons run well with it, and if you just kind of want to plug Gambit into a weapon and just run with it, these weapons will run perfect. 2 of them a little bit iffy, they need some adjustments, but if you have the chunks, if you have the time to grind, they are there and they're great. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, what you guys think on Gambit or on the weapons that I selected for Gambit. Let me know what you guys think. Like, were a few of them good? Were a few of them bad? Were all my options dumb? And maybe you should just run 52 gal with Gambit and only 52 gal. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Hope you guys did enjoy. Feel free to do the generic YouTuber stuff of like, subscribing, commenting, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!